Hello chess lovers, Suren here, and I have a very aggressive attacking game for you played by the 13th world chess champion Garry Kasparov. His opponent is Alexey Shirov, and this game was played in 2000 in Frankfurt. Now let's see what happened on the board. Kasparov had white pieces and he started the game with e4, e6 by Shirov. Shirov goes for French defense, d4, d5, knight c3, knight f6. We see the classical variation, bishop g5. With his last move, white pinned the knight on f6 square and now is threatening e5. Now black has several options. Black can either go for Makachian variation or bishop e7, or d takes e4 burn variation, which we see in the game, a variation which is named after English chess player Amos Byrne. Knight takes e4, knight d7, knight f3, bishop e7. We see the exchange of knights on f6 square and h4. This h-pawn is coming to support the bishop on g5 square, and later when organizing an attack, this advanced pawn on h4 square can be very useful. Black castles kingside, bishop d3, c5 and queen e2. There is a very dangerous plan hidden behind this move, and later we will see that Shirov won't find reasonable defense. C takes d4 was played and queen e4. With this beautiful queen maneuver, Kasparov brought it on an attacking square, and right now there is a mating threat. g6 and white castles queenside. We have opposite side castlings, and this is going to be a very sharp game. Queen a5, a very standard square in burn variation. Usually black is bringing his queen on a5 square, from where it is putting pressure on white's queenside. Right now the pawn on a2 square is hanging. We see the exchange of bishops on f6 square, and queen takes d4. Kasparov is winning back the lost pawn, and right now the knight on f6 square is hanging. Knight h5. Well, if knight d5, then white can play h5. If queen b6, then queen h4 with a very dangerous attack. Let's go back, but after queen takes d4, we see knight h5 in the game. a3, Kasparov is protecting the pawn, rook d8, queen e3, bishop d7. And here we go g4, knight f6, queen f4. The queen is both supporting the pawn on g4 square and again is taking under attack the knight on f6. Knight d5, queen h6. Finally the queen is on h file, and now this can be very dangerous. h5 is coming, knight f6. Actually this is a very tricky knight. The knight again retreats back on f6 square and is attacking the pawn on g4. But now comes knight g5. Kasparov is indirectly protecting the pawn on g4. The knight can't leave its outpost because black king can easily get checkmated. Bishop c6 was played, and it turns out that everything is ready for a mighty punch, and Kasparov went for a bishop sacrifice on g6. He wants to unarm black king and kill the enemy king. H takes g6 was played. Well, if a move like f takes g6, then white can capture on e6, though the engine says that even in this case black has no problem at all. Right now though there is a mating threat, but black can play king f7, and according to the engine all white can do is to repeat the moves and the game can end up in a draw. But after bishop takes g6, Shirov recaptured with the h-pawn. And another powerful sacrifice by Kasparov. This time he's sacrificing the knight on e6 square. Look at this. Right now there is a mating threat and Shirov accepted the sacrifice. Queen takes g6 check, king h8, queen takes f6. Kasparov managed to win back one of the sacrificed pieces. King h7, rook e1, and we see the exchange of rooks on d1 square. Of course, this is what you should do when your opponent is attacking. Exchange as many attacking pieces as possible and simplify the position. So far so good, but in this position Shirov made a mistake and played queen c5. Up to this move the engine evaluates the position as equal and suggests bishop d5, which is blocking the rook's path and is protecting the pawn on e6, or black can also play queen c7. If queen takes e6, then rook e8. Black is holding, no problem at all. But Shirov made a mistake and played queen c5, after which white is getting a winning position. Now comes g5. This g-pawn is coming to support white queen. Rook f8, queen h6 check, king g8, queen takes e6 check. The queen is starting to pick up everything on its path, and queen h6 check. Well, instead of playing queen h6 check, rook d6 is winning faster. Kasparov will find this move only a few moves later. I'm not sure, maybe already he was under a terrible time pressure, that's why he decided to give some checks and gain precious time. Queen g6 check, king h8, we see queen h6, and then again queen e6 check, and finally after king g7, Kasparov went for this devastating rook d6 move. Already white is threatening queen h6 check, and then the rook can join, and looks like that black king is going to get checkmated. Bishop e8 was played. Shirov is covering the g6 square, trying to somehow protect his king, but here comes queen e7 check, after which Shirov resigned. Now if rook f7, then white can play rook g6 check and win black queen, after which there is no chance for black to survive. This queen together with its mighty pawns can easily finish up black. That's why after queen e7 check, Shirov resigned. A very impressive attacking game, I think. Though Shirov managed to hold for a pretty long time, but finally he made a mistake with his queen c5 move, and Kasparov managed to win the game in style. Thanks for watching. Here are more suggestions for you. For more games, don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Also press the bell button to get notified about new uploads. I will see you in the next video.